Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the most exciting time of year, and that is to say the finals, the grand finals are here, and so am I. I'm Palador, being joined by Pam Wow. Oh wow, oh my. We've got Villain, we've got EXO Clan, and that thrill is about to start in the next 7 minutes or so. Pam Wow, what's up?
Palador, a lot is up at the moment. We've got EXO Clan and Villain, as you said. And honestly, if you've been keeping up to date with the previous matches we've seen with these two teams, they've been going at it. Even throughout Season 6, we saw Villain and EXO Clan taking up games against each other, 2 apiece to be exact. Earlier on in the season, we had EXO Clan taking a dub 35 points to 26. Then Villain taking 2 games in a row, and then EXO Clan just right at the end snipping one away. But now, in terms of this final bracket, EXO Clan have actually taken down Villain earlier on, sending them into the lowers bracket, but Villain have fought their way through and they've brought themselves back up to the winners bracket now, so here we are in the finals.
You know, I'm not surprised to see it whatsoever. I mean, obviously EXO Clan, formerly known as Leviathan, the last lone wolves among the original group of VRML champions across our regions. For season after season, it was always Joker / Ignite in North America. It was Team Gravity in Europe, and then in OCE as it came into the VRML competitive scene. Nothing but Leviathan, and they came so close to losing so many times.
Yep.
And every single time we arrive here asking, will this one be the one? Because it has been season after season the most competitive finals matches, grand finals matches, bracket resets, round fives we've seen. They've happened in OCE finals more often than any other region. And to see Villain here, this team that's just rocketed into this top position, being largely one of the newer like roster-wise, coming in the last couple seasons now. I mean, I spoke their praise for a couple seasons in a row on how this team is going to be like right up there in the future, and we've seen them now arrive at the point where they're on the cusp of championship glory here.
Yeah, and every great story has an even greater villain. And I can tell you this: Villain took OCE by storm. Like they just charged in, took down most of the top-ranking teams. We saw a lot of these teams earlier on in the bracket: Last Centurions, Australia, Fever Dream, and Euphoria, all fallen soldiers. But Villain remain here to this day, and they're ready to fight. And to those of you who don't know, Leviathan, the reigning champions, the undefeated champions, signing themselves up with an organization, so now they will be known as EXO Clan on the blue side of things. And well, I'll say this: Leviathan or EXO Clan, like you said, like you mentioned earlier, Palador, heading into these games, they like to keep. I feel like they try to keep it entertaining on purpose sometimes, but I'm gonna say that they're trying their best. And honestly, they keep it. It's always kept close, and sometimes, a round will be taken away from them, and we're all on the edge of our seats like, there's no way, this is the year. But every time they somehow manage to just clutch it up right at the last second. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting from this one, Palador, as usual.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just that's kind of the best part about OCE. Why I rave about it and why I have to be here casting with Pam, because these are the matches to see if history is any indication in terms of, is it likely to go down to the wire, to the last minute, to overtimes, to round fives, to bracket resets? History says for OCE, yes. And history says for this team here, again, coming in with just years of experience, to have Villain now being that team going up against them and who's taken games off of them throughout the season, that's a point of pride in itself. Again, just relatively speaking, not here nearly as long and established nearly as long as these EXO Clan players who have just been nothing but excellent.
Yeah. Okay, that's a new one. Haven't heard of that one actually. See, this is why Mr. Pally, gotta love the puns. And yeah, well, look, another aspect that I was kind of playing around with my mind was, look, Leviathan now, this is their first entrance into a grand final with their organization as their main appearance. So honestly, I feel like they've got a lot on their minds in terms of what we're representing. We're representing an organization now. First of all, it's not just a bunch of mates in the same team now. You're representing an org. You're heading into this game. I feel like they're going to be handling this with a little bit more class, a little bit more pizzazz, and honestly, I think that might be one of the many edges and one of the many aces of cards up their sleeves. And I'm ready to see what they have to pull out this game, Pally.
Yeah, and that moment is about to start in the next couple of minutes. Players are in the arena and set, and so are we. But before we do get off into those races, of course, gotta shout out all the wonderful support. See over on Twitch, the 100+ already filing in there. Lovely to see you guys. I know it's been a while. For some of you, I've actually caught you in a couple of really late night, for me, OCE privs over the last couple months. But great to see you. Glad to have you guys coming in to support, of course. And we also, of course, want to thank our sponsors here in VR Master League, who have given their support to our league across the seasons. And of course, here, as you see on our HyperX analyst desk, and HyperX been supporting VRML with high quality gear and over the course of the last several seasons now, who we appreciate very much so. Asterion Products, who continue to support at just an awesome level our organization and all the efforts here in the VR esports scene in general. Fantastic to have them supporting as always. And with that, of course, as I get the final countdown in my ear, Pam, while we are less than a minute away, predictions on your end. if you could do
Oh,
such a thing. Who you
yeah,
got?
look, I mean, I mentioned this earlier on. It's so hard to predict with a lot of these OCE teams. It's just so back and forth, and we've seen a lot of action from Villain and EXO. I really am banking on the fact that EXO are going to be taking this to that next professional level in this match. I reckon EXO's taking this one.
All right. Well, for me, I'm very very torn on it. I feel like for Villain, they're going to have their time. I don't know if it's now or not. However, they've got
Yeah.
a lot of experience to contend against here in the next 10 seconds. So as we wind it in, ladies and gentlemen, everyone tuning in wherever you are, whoever you are, we thank you for doing so. Glad to have you. It's Villain, and it's EXO Clan, and we are ready for the races for the championships here in OCE. Pamwow, take it away.
Villain heading up on the orange side of things. Meanwhile, EXO Clan on the blue side of things. Who will win? Who will take away the prize? Let us see on the first joust of the best of 5 series. And it will be Villain taking away that joust. It will be Impact actually now making his way back over to Odin. Now over to Ali. Ali cutting in immediately. Brilliant save, but the stun and Silveridge will cost the team a self-goal there for 2.
Man, oh man, already starting the way that's so familiar to me. For those tuning in and from our other regions especially, might not watch OCE on the regular or play with some of these guys on the regular. Man, they produce some excellent goalkeeping, so a fitting way to start, although it does happen to slip the wrong direction after the stun. But Silveridge, one of the best of them. You can call him, in a sense, the cruisin' of OCE.
And something that we've actually noticed from previous games of Villain Palador is that they will always, almost always, win this initial just advantage, and it's crazy to see every single time. Let's just see if they can maintain that now this game as EXO Clan maintain that possession, making their way down the field will be Soggy Bunning Snags, crossing it over to Silver. Silver with the cut in, and oh, the style from Punda.
You ever see a panda do ballet? Well, that was that just there. Punda with a nice spin and completion off the Silver Ridge assist, tying it all up after a minute.
Really good to shut down that momentum straight away. I mean, Villain found those opening 2. EXO Clan answering straight away back. And Villain now with the just advantage with the rollout. And Villain always going to fan out very nice and wide along the map. Here comes Impact now straight through the middle, crossing it down towards the right. Met with some pressure from Soggy. Finds the cross over to Ali. Now Ali with 2 members to choose from. Oh, the nice little pass to Impact there inside the bubble, wrapping around and slams it for 2.
Right in the pocket on both the pass and the dunk through. And that is some high impact play indeed. Great way to get them going back on the board again between these two top teams. Joust advantage back to EXO Clan on the blue. Of course, carrying on that tradition extended from when they were Leviathan. Of no matter what, they will always be on Team Blue.
Yep.
As soon as that changes, I know the world ain't right anymore.
Exactly, we might have to rethink some things in our lives at that point when EXO changed their colors back to orange. But meanwhile, here comes Soggy from the Pac-Man now by the Ghost. Does have a teammate on the bottom right, a bit of a pass down to the bottom right boot, and not going to really work out for them. Ali going to find a nice little pass there down to Odin. Odin with a clear, but instantly locked down there by Silver, who will be hanging out in the mid side. You'll expect that for a majority of this game. Odin with a possible point-saving steal there as he finds the clear through to the middle.
And Odin into the wide open for impact, but no impact, except off the back. And then off the head, but right back into Silveridge's palms. Silveridge trying to send a bounce, but it just reaches Impact, who gets stunned out by Punda. Punda with a quick spin and a fling down the floor. However, the stack is there. They split apart, but getting there just in time. Soggy to the back, to the front. And oh, side to side, these teams are equal at 4.
You gotta love the trust from Silveridge. He's not worried at all about helping Soggy in any circumstance. He doesn't want to stun anyone to help Soggy. He's just heading straight to the backboard because he knows Soggy's getting that one, and he's going to be sending it for the pass straight away. Beautiful passing there from EXO, 4-4.
All right, Impact now with the QB duties waiting for Rosh to arrive. Sends a pass to Odin, and the tunnel there being covered by Soggy, but managing a pass right through, and a nice interception. Silveridge playing midfield goalkeeper in that sense, but Rosh will overtake, finding that quick pass, well communicated. That goal not quite covered, and recovered. Oh, and right under and through the mitts. It's a 2-point lead.
You know what? It happened to Silva and it's happened to Ali. I call it square now, but 6 points to 4. EXO taking the lead now, I believe, for the first time of this match. I mean, 4 to 6, and it seems like we're taking a lot of safe 2-pointers this round. Palador, no open wide 40-meter threes just yet. As Impact takes the just advantage now, met with some pressure, finds the clear over to the right side. Instantly answered by Silva. Honestly, MVP of this round at the moment. Here comes Rosh now, stunned away. Impact has the possession and finds the clear through the right tunnel.
And just as well, they'll find, the disc was open, as was the goal, but they couldn't quite read it. So a little bit of missed opportunity offensively, but back to the wedge. It's Soggy Bunnings now recovering and way down the field. Unfortunately, there was a Kevin lurking as a shot goes lurking, and a shot goes missing, but only barely. And Impact now having it stolen, and Silver Ridge! Oh, the goal is open. There's that MVP of round 1 you talked about, right on cue.
Yep, a 4-point lead now with just over 5 minutes remaining in the first round. This is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us now. So the victors will have to find 3 rounds to their name if they want to take away this one. Villain actually need to force a bracket reset if they would like to take away these championships. Leviathan or now EXO Clan have 2 chances. You heard it here now, ladies and gentlemen. And an open 3, not just barely, but bouncing back to the Pac-Man, and it will be KVN, Kevin, with the clear.
And taken back there by Soggy. Soggy sending it to the station. A lot of S's there and seeing if they can convert now on a shot. And from the back, it's Rush. Little show and go, waving at the goalkeeper with a disc. And then waving it right through the back there for the 10-4 lead. EXO Clan in early control now. Still half this round to go.
Yeah, exactly. Still another 4 minutes 30 remaining on the timer, and you definitely know, like, it's just 2 threes that will bring them back into this one. Here comes Villain now with the just advantage. Odin crossing over to KVM, met with some pressure, finds the cross back to Ali. Ali now a 1-on-2 situation. Will they wait for the teammate? A pass to the right, Paul, and here comes Impact dinging off the bottom of the post, and it will be EXO Clan now reclaiming that possession. And if they can find some more points on some more points now, Palidor, they might be able to close out this first round.
Oh, but if they can close that deal, no, it's off. An opportunity to bring it ever the more close, but a second attempt will be good. And stun goalie there, important part of that. Credit KVN on the stun to enable the impact shot right below the dome.
And this is where it gets a bit scary, Palador. I mean, Villain, I can tell you now, they will be pressuring this possession like fire. They know they're still in this round, and EXO Clan will be doing anything they can to avoid this pressure. Here comes the clear. They're going to be following up on their own clear through the right tunnel. The regrab's getting disrupted, though, so Villain will take the possession instead. Now, KVN Ali, here comes the open goal. Palador is a 3. It is a 3, and it's good from 14 meters out. A 1-point difference.
Wow, and just like that, the lead, which was starting to be at risk of ballooning, well now just deflated into a single digit. So Leviathan, EXO Clan, back at it again. Again, you're not going to put this team away. Based on what we've seen from Villain in seasons past, get down or otherwise, I mean, it has to be the full 10 minutes of play here because they play with so much heart.
Yeah, and Villain, I mean, when you're down a few points and there's still so much time left in the round, you cannot sleep on a team like this. And but nice placement there from Rosh avoiding the keeper on the left bounce. But even that play we saw earlier, EXO Clan, they thought they could even get away with a clear through the right tunnel and re-grabbing back to their own clear. But just that one member of Villain just disrupting those stacks brought themselves a 3-pointer. You have to be so careful against a team like Villain. That's what we're saying here.
Well, down 3 points now is Villain once again off that last shot. As from the sideline, they're just trying to find their high-quality opportunities. They don't need to panic too much yet, although that pass a bit ricochet. They'll still find the right place, the right pass. Aliosia with a dive, but will not survive. Oh, again, though. That's the second time we've seen a grab be turned into a stun, and the momentum carry itself into a self-goal. Oh, no. 1-point game.
Never be afraid to throw a punch in the bubble. Just activate your fists whenever you can and just go crazy with your arms, because you'll find a stun and you'll find yourself some points just like that. 11 to 12 now with 1 minute 36 on the timer. EXO Clan dying to get themselves a bit more points to bring themselves just a little bit of breath away from Villain. Now here comes Rosh. Rosh with a clear back towards the left side. Not directly on Punto. He might find the rebound. No, it will be Impact. A costly miss pass there. So now Villain have an opportunity. Steal from Rush, and Rush will take the time with a few little arm swings as he sinks it in for 2. That is the lead EXO we're looking for.
And there's that breath you mentioned. They've got a little bit more of a gap now, and Rosh, well, call him Breath of the Wild, might be the missing link in this equation, able to cause that turnover, and with a 3-point lead, only a minute left. Basically, anyone who's heard me cast before, you know I'm going to say it, just don't allow a 3. Force them into some tough 2s, make them score twice if they want to overtake you in the rest of this round, as Aliosin now will send it right down, actually self-pass perhaps, but a punch blocked nicely by Raj. A key block on the stun, and with 41 seconds left, any goals here going favor of EXO Clan will mark probably this round as a shot. No, just barely missing that bottom post. 30 seconds, Pam.
Very important block there earlier from Russia. Now here comes the close from the clear from Odin. Odin, oh my goodness, the 3-pointer! The goal was open, Palador. The regrabs were not there from EXO, and Villain now even up the scores.
Some things, man, I tell you, those late game 3-pointers, just why I have to say it every single time. You're up 3, you're up 4, you got less than a minute left, cover that goal. But you know what, this is classic. This is classic OCE. Of course, we're gonna start with an OT the first time around, not even 10 minutes into the opening of this stream.
If you're just joining us now on the stream, this sums up pretty much how the rest of these rounds are going to go. EXO Clan and Villain tying it up within the very first round. We're going to OT, 14 to 14. Whoever scores first is the winner of the first round here. Ladies and gents, in the initial joust, let's see if Villain takes it away once more.
All right, first to it with plenty of time to spare there. Indeed, was Villain, but taken right back by Soggy without a problem. Now the defenses trying to cover. They do need to find some stacks here. Perhaps they are very split up, which is extremely dangerous should EXO, get control of the disc. Old habits and all that. But that said, old habits, if anything is based on the past, it's going to be a win from Soggy Butting Snags, and that is where you see the veterancy and the experience of their team. This is what they have done as Leviathan and now as EXO Clan. What a finish!
Dime of a pass there from Rosh over to Soggy. And now, this is where you got to question some things. Okay, look, Villain,
yeah.
they find the initial just almost every single time. We've seen them playing within all these previous games. EXO roll out in a more defensive position. They're not targeting that initial just, Palador. So now, Villain, they had that initial just. They reached that disc on time. They were there. They were ready. Not really any pressure on them.
Yeah.
But instantly through the disc as if they were anticipating pressure from EXO. And I'm not sure if that's just, I don't know, maybe when you're in the arena, you feel all the pressure throughout the entire game, you just assume the worst and you just clear it straight away. But you really need, yeah, what are you saying there, Pally? Because honestly, it's too much for me.
It was exactly what I was saying about, again, experience and such. It's why, prediction-wise, right, where one team who's been there before just has that calmness, that air about them, which we've seen from EXO Clan in seasons past. And meanwhile, for Villain, getting to that rollout, but I think getting too lost in the moment, essentially. Imagine the pressure here, because they have performed so well this season, only taking, 3 losses, I think, and 19 wins. So they have been a top-tier performer just as much as EXO Clan has been, but it's always, and we've seen it in our other regions as well. We've seen it even a few hours ago in North America. Whatever your regular season record is, whatever you finish in regular season, finals are always a different beast. It's just so much added stakes and pressure, and it's just those little mistakes that can cause a game, cause a round in this case, to get away from you in overtime.
Yeah, and exactly, and the stakes are pretty high for these games. I mean, the prize pool, if you want to get a little hint as to what they're fighting for here, ladies and gents. First place takes away $900 USD. Thank you to VRML and all our sponsors there. I mean, 6 VR cover kits valued at $30 USD per player. VRML player personalized jerseys valued at $50 USD per player. and a champion tag, which we have always discussed as an unimaginable value. Cruising around in the OC lobbies, you definitely want to have one of those tags on you. Show up, and honestly, I would rather that tag than anything else you could give me, Palador, because honestly, it's just unimaginable value, as it says.
Unimaginable wealth goes into that tag and clout. Look, so people look at the preseason and the season 1 badges from before on VRML, and they look at those as, wow, if you have that, you're an original and you're a long-time player, and it's a little extra value because only so many people have that. But contextually, I mean, if you're like me and you love Echo Arena and you believe in its long-term viability and sustainability, the fact that it's going to be around as a VR sport for the rest of all of future, at least as far as I'm concerned. So hey, you get those tags now, they're going to be looked at just the same as something just of a very high value and kind of pride behind it. And a few years from now, like today's OGs were not considered OGs 4 years ago, but 3 years ago and such. But now it's like if you've been here for a few years, you're already basically a veteran in this game. And time, it's all about perspective here. And both these teams just fighting to mark their spot right there at the top and in the history books of VRML.
And look, two things that come to mind now entering this second round. Villain in previous games, in between rounds, they weren't afraid to swap around their players. They aren't afraid to sub around. They're swapping now 5 up for KVN, ladies and gentlemen. That. So yeah, a new roster heading into this second round. And look, every time when we saw Villain do this in their previous games, they more than likely took away the next round. So I'm interested now to see if this is going to work against EXO. I mean, I'm sure Villain did try earlier on in the bracket against EXO. Maybe it didn't work, but who knows? I mean, everyone's always bringing different game plans to every single game. And that's one of the best things about Echo Arena, in my opinion. I mean, in between rounds, everyone's always planning a different game plan, especially in the grand final. I mean, that is what makes the best teams. Planning ahead, having different strategies ready to go. And with that said, I mean, teams are getting themselves readied up in the tubes, Palador. But let's just see if Villain can turn things around. I mean, they're swapping around their players. They might swap around a few strategies. I mean, will they still pressure that initial joust? That is another thing that comes into my head. But as I say that, players getting themselves ready. EXO and Villain. EXO taking away the first round, of course. A best of 5, ladies and gents, if you're just joining us now for the grand final of the Season 6 OCE region. And honestly, Palador, if it's anything like the first round, I can't wait to see what's yet to come.
I was watching a little bit in the spawn area too of Villain, and 5 up was right there by the map, the mini map picture there for a little while, and just talking a little bit of strategy. Don't know what they're talking about, but you can see the body language and just discussing how they're going to handle these coming plays. So indeed, it's a factor. And the substitutes situation that we've seen, one of those things I do see, or have seen historically more common, certainly in OCE, and you see it a little more and more in our other regions as well. But in OCE, it's not been an uncommon thing per se. We have seen that occur, and we have seen it be successful. So as we do launch off into the second round, a quick take by Odin and quick plays all around the board as they file into the bubble and don't file in a goal. Silver Ridge, no sweat off his back, it's what he does. It's down the floor, coast to coast, Punda making the most of the shot. 3 points to get him started, 18 seconds in.
I mean, credit to Villain at the beginning of that round. They found the initial just, and they didn't let themselves get consumed by that pressure from EXO. Nice pass over to the left. However, Silver in the goals, answering back immediately. The regrabs were there. Open 3. EXO starting off very strong this round.
Yeah, Punda, a supremely dangerous player with an open goal left in front of his eyes. They glow like a kid in a candy store and might have another opportunity, and the opportunity is costing them. 6 points down is Villain, and Punda, the man making it happen.
I mean, EXO Clan, you can only imagine how pumped up they would be feeling right now. They took away the overtime of the first round, and I feel like that was enough just to set themselves up for future glory, because they are pumped, ladies and gents. And Villain now, quite possibly feeling the opposite. I mean, Odin now with the clear over to the right side tunnel. Here comes Impact now. They want to answer back immediately now, Villain. They need to answer back to EXO. Here comes the cross. They might have an opportunity here. Not directly on the teammate there, so there will be a struggle for the disc. Bouncing just close to Aliosia. And the nice pass to Impact, who was waiting on the goals there and sneaking it past the goalkeeper. So a 4-point difference now.
Yeah, Aliosia initially missed that pass and had a little bit of struggle reading the disc and was kind of floating right towards it, trying to meet the defense halfway. And then all of a sudden just turned on the nitro boosters, put on a mean juke, and also found the dead accurate assist to enable the shot from Impact. A wonderful job on their part to get on the board. They're down by 4. Punda, though, who's already scored all these 6 points on the passing plays that Silver Ridge manages from the back line.
Yeah, brilliant passing here from EXO. They're making the disc work away around the bubble. And Punda was there on the left shoulder. However, a nice fend off there from Villain. Now Punda once more stopped away there from Odin. And now another struggle for the disc. They clear through the mid side. Silveridge wasn't directly on it, but they will be making their way down to that disc now. Met with some pressure from Odin. Finds a clear through that right tube. And a nice pass there actually over to Soggy. Soggy has Rosh now waiting on the left. And they're going to make their way around together now. A reset there. And EXO come again once more. Fanning around the bubble. Here comes Punda on the left side. A pass behind the post. Another pass around to Silver. Oh my goodness, it's not going to make its way in, Pally.
Oh, the mishandling of the disc will enable at least a chance for Odin to get a tap clear, but nicely done linking themselves together for the stack on EXO Clan. They get right back into the mix. A quick pass. Soggy finding Rosh and splash. It's 8-2.
And EXO, they are not demoralized by any attack that does not work out. They will regrab immediately back to that mid side. They will anchor down on that mid side and block any attempts at a clear. Villain can attempt to conjure out from their side because Villain, I mean, you can see, I can feel the pressure Villain must be feeling now from EXO. However, I feel like they might have an opportunity here, Palador. They have 2 members on 1. Will they go for the goalie stun? Oh, and Silveridge, it leaves the goalie post. Says, not today. I'm taking that one. You can't take your time on me. 5 up, finds the disc, clears it over to Impact. Oh my goodness, Soggy subs in for Silver, and a clear back towards the tunnel. Palador, too much action as across the map. Not just yet.
Unbelievable series of plays there. Clutching it up was Silver, followed by Soggy, and now trying to log in another goal. It's a 3, it's a save. Aliosia loses it, and Rush, no confusion, knows what to do with it. 10-2, and it's all of a sudden, I mean, we still got a lot of time, Pam Wow, but again, one set is all it takes. 3 rounds if EXO Clan can get this win here in round 2. So the more and more time passes, Villain, they know they don't have these second chances, at least not much of them.
Yeah, and we saw it earlier from the first round. You cannot just relax now if you are in EXO Clan's position. Villain have a way of finding these 3 points and threading these passes out of nowhere in the last few seconds. So you have to try until the very end if you're in EXO Clan's position here. Now, saying this, here comes Soggy butting snags from the mid side. Finds a pass over towards the left. There's 2 people here, so we'll go a pass down towards Silver. Silver now on the backside. Punda is stunned away, so can't go for the pass here, but manages to find disc once more. Now Soggy waiting on the nest, and some pressure there from Odin, who was hiding away and finds the clear. The regrabs will be there potentially first from Villain. They are all disrupting each other's stacks, and it will be EXO Clan first on the disc.
Oh, but not for long. Aliosia making magic. 10-5, cutting that lead now in half for EXO Clan, and back into the mix is Villain.
Yep, mentioned it earlier. Villain will find these 3-pointers. Don't sleep on them. Here comes EXO Clan with a just advantage. Let's see if Villain can pressure them and find themselves another 3-pointer potentially. Any points will do at this moment in time. 4 minutes 25 on the timer to be exact. As it will be Punda with the possession now. And he does have Rosh making their way down towards the right side. But just waiting. They have the point lead. And they will wait for the stacks. And brilliant passing here from EXO. They're trying to bait away the stacks. They're trying to gain any ground they can. They force the disc out through the mid side and open an opportunity here. Rosh now on the nest. Will they go for the 2v1? Yes, they do. Oh, left, right. Where's it going, Palador? It's going in the goals.
And a few other places beforehand, but unfortunately for 5 up, that's 2 down, right down Main Street. And All the moves in the book got them the goal that they needed to put them up again with a comfortable, but not too comfortable, 12-5. There's still plenty of time, and also plenty of time outs as we have one taken here, it seems.
Yep, and points are 12-5 if you're just joining us now, ladies and gents, in the second round here for the Oceanic Grand Finals of VRML. And if you are joining us for the very, very first time and you're sitting here wondering, well, what is this? What is VRML? What does that even mean? Well, the VR Master League is the largest grassroots VR esports organization with thousands of active players. Founded in 2017, VRML has grown exponentially to encompass leagues of multiple popular VR titles, including Echo Arena, Onward, Pavlov, and Snapshot. Our mission is to create a fair, community-driven, and welcoming competitive environment for our players by supporting the players, casters, and sponsors. And speaking of a competitive environment, these games are pretty much the foundation of competition right now in the Oceanic region. I mean, Villain, huge props to them because I can imagine how gutted I would feel if I was in their position, taking a loss on that first overtime, heading into the second round, two consecutive back-to-back three-pointers, Palador. I
Yeah.
would be absolutely gutted. I'd say, Coach, sub me off. I'm crying over here because honestly, it's a heartbreaker at times, especially in the grand final, but they are not letting it get to them. And that is what separates the best from the worst in a lot of these scenarios. A Villain, they're holding on and they're answering back with a few three-pointers of their own. So, I mean, huge props to Villain, but EXO Clan still not letting up with all that pressure, and it's been brilliant.
Famwell, going back to what you said, that was the key. Those 6 points, those early threes, honestly, the real difference maker here, if nothing else, is what put them in that initial hole where they're just trying to climb out, climb out, climb out. And because you take those away, much closer looking game, a lot less stressful. But those 3-point shots, they are worth more than the 3 points themselves sometimes in terms of, yeah, you get the extra point, but you also get that mental boost on your team. And if you're the opposite team, it's really deflating, much more so than eating a 2-pointer or a dunk here or there. You see those open threes go in, you get that feeling of dread in the pit of your stomach, like,
Yeah.
here it goes, two in a row happens, same thing. And that's the kind of pressure and that's the kind of stress that can mount in these situations where, again, the experience pays off, and Punda leading the way to start things off in the round. But certainly you look across the scoreboard for them, 8 points, Punda, Silver with 4, Sagi with a couple, and Rosh with a game high at 10. I mean, everyone's putting in some equal effort here offensively through assists and their shots as well. I mean, this is a complete team.
Yeah, I'm getting some flashbacks actually to Punda clutching it up with an open three-pointer shot. I mean, earlier on in previous grand finals, EXO-Clan have been in a bit of a trouble, like such as this one. I mean, it was overtime in the first round. That just goes to show how close these two competitors are. But I mean, just finding that first open three, and it just the momentum with EXO-Clan. As soon as they find that first open three, it just piles on, and they do not
Yeah.
let go. And I mean, we've seen it so many times from EXO-Clan, but what we've also seen from teams such as Villain, they do an amazing job, as I mentioned earlier, with not letting it get to them. But right now, with this timeout, you will see, they are planning their next means of attack. They will be fanning out all along the arena, and they might, I mean, after a timeout like this, you need to come out with some points with your just advantage. This is where you answer back.
And that's why we recommend the timeouts too. Sometimes there are spurts where we see teams across, especially before these finals and just in regular season, we see teams not always take full advantage of it. But when we do, you do see a high conversion rate in terms of the team who takes a timeout. Quite often, they will be the one to score next. Not all the time, but I would say a solid maybe 70% of the time. Sometimes you just need to breathe because Echo is stressful. There's a lot of mental and physical that goes into this sport. So sometimes that breather for a minute or two is really all you need to cool off one team and also get your heads right going into your next play.
Yeah, also, if you want to dismantle the momentum you see just stacking up against from the other team, you just want to tell them, you know what, just take a break. We'll shut you down for a second. You guys aren't that good. We're coming back right now. And I mean, I feel like that is one of the many purposes and great things about timeouts, which Villain, they've been utilizing this since day one in these finals, and we've seen them in all the previous games. Villain aren't afraid to use this. They aren't afraid to use subs. They aren't afraid to use timeouts. They'll use anything they can, Palador. And I mean, that's a grand final player. That's a grand final team.
Yeah. Well, hey, everything you can. It's everything. Everything needs to be put on the table. Again, this is the last day. This is the grand finals. So everything you have, you got to show it now. And especially coming from Villain's position out of this timeout, they need to show that fire, like you said, because they have to win this series in order to even force a grand finals and have a chance at that championship. And they're executing really quick. Impact and 5 up the assist. That was a thriller, ziplining it down with threaded needle over threaded needle. A bunch of surgeons on this team. How was that for a passing play?
Are you telling me 5 up purposely aimed that pass to be lower, and the reaction to grab that in that instance from Impact? I mean, that was outstanding. That was a brilliant play from Villain, as EXO Clan definitely unhappy with it. Here comes the answer back straight away, and again we saw that earlier as well. Up, down, which way am I going? I'm just gonna send it through.
Yeah, it's really tough against any kind of player, especially like Rush. He's one of those. I made the comparison earlier. Silver Age, Colin, kind of an equivalent, an OCE equivalent of kind of what Cruisin does defensively and over in NA. Well, look at Rush. I mean, man, JDG, your Mozzies, your Swags of this world. that's the kind of player Rush is.
And now Punda being stolen away from 5 up, so they have an opportunity here now, and they need some points, Palador. Here comes a stun, and Soggy might save them a few as he finds it clear through the left tunnel. Now the regrabs are instantly there from Leviathan. They will be there first. Can they find the disc? It's going to be a little bit of time inducing, but it will be Odin with the possession at the end of the day. Odin now with the stun and the clear through the left tunnel. And as always, so back to forth, but there's an open goal opportunity. 3 points. Soggy finds the save.
Oh, a little bit too much time taken before the shot. They had an open goal for several seconds, but that split second was all it took, and that was all she wrote. Soggy one end to the other, and Bunning snags themselves a double-digit lead.
I mean, a few missed opportunities. It's just heart-wrenching, but even Odin at the very last second there was diving in from a regrab, just barely missed the disc there, barely missed the save, but huge plays here from EXO Clan as Odin takes away the possession now, sending it over towards the right tunnel. Will be 5 up on Pac-Man. Has members making their way around the bubble. A pass down below, a stunned ally, so that will not work out for them in this instance. Stoggy actually forces the clear. Punda forces the clear out through to the right side. The regrabs are there once more from Leviathan, and with 1 minute remaining on the timer and a 10-point difference, EXO Clan are looking to steal away this second round.
And about to clutch it up with some more Ice Silver Ridge. Quite nice from Rush. And indeed, 12-point lead. They are solid for round 2, it would seem. Over in the Twitch chat, by the way. Indeed, Gina, just trying to simplify it in the sense that I think it's a little too early for too many EU players to be here, but plenty of NA players, so, you know, just gotta translate it a little bit. But indeed, testament to these players' skills for sure. They are tremendous, and that's why OC's these finals have always been just stellar and stunning. But so far, 2-0. EXO Clan, clearly, they're going to be feeling pretty good. And I think the key PamWow now is just, as you said earlier, maintain what they've been doing the rest of the way for at least one more round.
I mean, they're maintaining this point lead. That's what I'll tell you now. Punda finding those 2 points, 21-7 now. And look, Villain now, this is their last chance. This is their last life. If you've ever been playing a video game before and you're on your last life, you know your back gets bent forward. You're really serious now. You're going at it, and I mean, that's what Villain's at right now. They're going to be taking this one very seriously. I mean, but look, now this is where the questions start popping up in my brain. Are they going to be feeling a lot more pressured from this now? Are EXO Clan going to utilize the fact that they're 2 rounds up? Are they going to change their game plan now to just pressure? So Villain are just overwhelmed. So there's a lot of different game plans that can be executed, especially in this scenario. EXO Clan are 2 rounds to 0. If EXO Clan find this next one, they will be the champions of Season 6 for VRML OCE. So, I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, this is where all the cards must be shown now from Villain.
Absolutely. That ever-growing legacy of EXO Clan. Again, formerly known as Leviathan, the only reigning defending champions of OCE since its inception into VRML for Echo Arena. And yeah, they are just steps away for Villain. It's as I was saying, kind of going into the match and talking about predictions and such. I do believe Villain has a strong future and are future champions in their own right. I did not know for sure if it would be today or not. It's such a tough task because, again, no matter what happens regular season, no matter what happens, in cups and finals and what anything else, once you reach this juncture, we've seen the same thing again in seasons past with Team Gravity when they were reigning for multiple years, and Joker/Ignite, where it's just when you think they're done and you think this is finally the one they lose, it just seems like over and over this team in EXO Clan, they've been able to pull new tricks out of the book. They've been able to just find that calmness in a storm of pressure and execute. For Villain, to their credit, they've not given up. They've still been playing hard this whole way through. But if they have anything left up their sleeves or in their bag of tricks, this is the time to pull it out. Because you got 10 minutes, make it or break it.
And I mean, look, Villain now, they are swapping their player once more, 5-up, swapping back for KVN. So that was from KVN to 5-up, now once more 5-up to KVN. Villain, they're changing their game plan once more, and you know what? It's adapting that really can save a team in scenarios like this, adapting to what you're seeing on the field from the enemy. And I feel like Villain, that is what they are always consistently trying to achieve here. And look, I've seen it so many times work out for Villain where they have adapted, and if you've ever seen that popular meme, the download complete. That's what they're going for. They're going for the download on their enemy player. They want to read them so well, and it's definitely inspiring to any other team rising up. Now, always, if you master your enemy, you master the game pretty much. And look, I feel like that's what the kind of presence Villain are bringing to this game. So I know you're gonna say master yourself, master the enemy, but look, you master the.
It's the art of war, But
yeah, the art of war.
For just to touch on what you're saying too, absolutely, Villain consistently the last couple of seasons for OCE has been one of those really standout, impressive teams because they had such low expectations coming into them as a team coming out of the growing Japanese region, which is also combined into OCE for VRML. But going up against, again, your multi-season champions, people didn't expect the rookies, in a sense, to be as good as they were, as fast as they were. And it's kind of me beating a dead horse at this point, but I've said this on my OCE streams like the last couple of seasons where it's like, wow, this team should, compared to like other teams, other regions who are on the come up, like this team shouldn't be this good this fast. That's not even fair. And yet they kept doing it. They kept impressing. They kept winning. So the fact that they're here, it's definitely not a mistake whatsoever, and not a surprise at all. And in fact, it's history making in its own right and exciting to see.
Yeah, and speaking of impressing, Paldor, you know what has been very impressive? The production on these streams. Can you believe it, ladies and gents? Because honestly, looking at it myself, this is just beautiful stuff from the creative team. And the creative team is in active need of video editors, whether you're brand new to video editing and want to learn, or you're more experienced and you just wouldn't mind picking up a simple highlight reel to edit for a few weeks. We want you. If you're interested, you can apply at vrmasterleague.com/careers. But VRML always happy with the growth that we've seen over the past few years. And with that said, Pally, Villain and EXO Clan heading back into the third round. EXO Clan, if they can take away this third round, they will be the champions. Villain hanging on by a thread. They're going to be struggling and fighting for their lives here as we head back into it, ladies and gents. OCE Season 6 Championships.
All right, so the time is now, as we like to say in VRML. At least time is, 22 seconds from now. The final seconds ticking off, and the players now just discussing and reaffirming their strats, trying to calm it down, and hopefully, with the time that was expended there, this could be a return round for Villain, making a fight out of this. And, until that final buzzer rings, I'm never going to deny the likelihood, in fact, not even a chance, the likelihood of round 5s, because it's just happened way too much in OCE matches in the past. So, 10 minutes to decide it. Here it goes, Pam. Wow, a very, very important first few minutes, I think, coming up for Villain. They really need to come out and establish that foothold, establish that pace early.
And they establish the initial joust as it will be Impact taking away that disc and sending it down towards the top bottom right now. KVN waiting for the teammates to wind their way in, but a nice stun there from Soggy. Soggy also stuns away KVN, but Villain managed to scramble it back into their possession. However, EXO just forcing their way around the bubble, sweeping that disc away. However, Villain now pulling a bit of an EXO here. They're nailing down and they're anchoring down, and unfortunately, that's going to bring Silverage a bit down there. Self-goal by 2.
Yeah, Silverage has been the victim of a couple of those now to start off these rounds, although obviously his team coming on top of those ones. But the first 2 points, very important for Villain. Again, the ability to just establish an early lead, even if it's only 2 or 3 points, it's still so huge because you can at least come out of the gates not feeling quite as under pressure of, oh, we're always playing catch-up, we're always playing catch-up. Right now, they are catching up, they are catching the disc, and now they are sending it back for a potential play on the goal, but a missed pass, unfortunately, will still be recovered, as Aliosa, well, does get stunned.
Yeah, brilliant work from Punda there defending as they make their way back onto the disc now. It will be Impact, and Villain are not letting go of the pressure now. They're turning the tables. Oh, brilliant save there from Silver, sending it back down to the trench. Can they follow up on this clear? However, it feels like Villain have just nailed down on this mid side, bouncing off the shield there, and it will be their possession once more, sending it back over towards the mid. Now Soggy Bunny Snags will be replacing Silver in the mid side here in terms of defense, sends it back over towards the left side, and Silverage now off Pac-Man, avoids the member of Villain, now crossing it over to the opposite Pac-Man. Punta now to the backboard. Here comes Rosh, stolen away from Ali, and Ali will find the clear.
Tremendous defense we're seeing from both ends, and now they got to race end to end. That's an open goal, looking so appetizing for Impact. They can get there real soon and finds that room from a very tight corner as a stun went out from Punda. They're up by a couple goals, 4 points. Impact here, who's been definitely an Impact player, 13 of the points across these rounds.
Villain is on their last life. When the pressure is on, it does look like they will perform. 7 minutes 43 on the timer, and the second Joust advantage for EXO Clan here as Silverage calming things down, and that's what we've seen within the previous Joust advantage as well, liking to calm down. And the lead isn't too huge. They don't need to force any plays just yet. Punta now sending the disc straight down to the nest, and oh my goodness, Rosh preemptively stunned his marked player and jumped up for that possession, but just unable to execute, unfortunately. But now Ali on the other side of things, a save there from Punda, and that will be the answer back from EXO Clan through mid.
That was a wild play up there above that orange nest. Preemptive dives followed by preemptive stuns, but no goal. They'll still have another chance for EXO as it bounces right below. And Soggy Bunnings passes almost perfectly, but couldn't find the grab. Rebound had a tap pass over to Soggy. Oh, the save from Ali, and right down the right alley. That was an incredible save before the stuns. The defense immense, but the defense, oh, no sense. It's out of there, and they left a little too early, and Punda, he feasts.
The goal is open. The disc is in Punda's hands. You best believe a three-pointer is coming your way. And you know what?
Yep.
Villain's still 1 point ahead at this time, at this point in the game. So 6 minutes 25 on the timer, just advantage. And Villain, I really feel like they're not going to let that three-pointer get to them. I mean, there was a double three earlier on that we saw, and I feel like that's kind of the momentum creator for EXO. But Villain, they still got, a point up, and I don't see them letting go of that lead anytime soon. Potentially, let's not cast as curse this one, as EXO actually make their way up. A 2v1 situation, making their way around the steal from Ali.
Wow. How about Ali's defense here? Not only is the saves, but these steals, these grabs, right up on that disc, wherever it happens to be. Ali's there, it seems like. But so is Silver in the midfield, overtaking, sending it down the stack, though, meeting it halfway. Ali, of course, with a grab, and sending it right below on a bouncer. They try to relink their stacks, getting split up just a bit, though, and it's going to enable the retake. EXO Clan back in possession, almost intercepted, as Punda now takes it from the tunnel and looking for a boop that just goes astray.
Yeah, but look, Villain I'll credit them here. These regrabs from them have been definitely profitable for their team. They are pressuring EXO. They are trying to intercept as many passes as they can. As I say that, Roche with a beautiful interception there finds the clear back through the mid side. But Villain, the pressure is on. They've turned it on this third round because they know this is where it counts. This is where the champions are made. So now making their way back to the bubble. EXO able to make it there first, but shot just a bit far from the goals there, Pally, as Roche finds the reset.
It really forced the issue, but fortunately for EXO Clan, they'll get possession back, dancing around, finding the pass, but again a stop! And this time sent out by Odin, and they need to find their stacks really quick because again, the opportunities, we're seeing so many of these clears, these boosts, and these passes even, just barely missing interceptions by inches, it seems like. So just a little bit quicker, a little bit faster to the grabs, and they'll be good to go. We're only at 7 combined points, and we're already halfway through this round. More than that, in fact. The pace has changed here, Pam.
Yeah, and it looks like Villain are not letting go of this pace. I mean, they're going to follow up on their own regrabs. However, Silveridge are able to bounce off members of Villain first and might make his way to the disc first. However, Odin now finds the disc and the bounce reset back over to Impact. Impact now funnels it back over towards Odin. Odin now has an opportunity for some points. Sends it in, but Soggy with the read and the clear. The points are still 4-3.
That was a tremendously difficult pass to make. So much congestion, but fortunately the boosts were there. KVN will be able to take away that disc and now send it down the field. Impact now just as well. Trying for a dribble. They've got a chance. Big shots! Oh, big miss! Oh, that could have been huge, especially with a lower scoring pace of this round. They still might have a chance at it as it's secured and set nicely off of the punch and couldn't punch it home. Back again, but scoreless for a couple of minutes here now.
And even while Silveridge was stunned, tried to move his avatar down to block it with his head, but just dinging off the bottom of the post there. So now Villain one more opportunity for themselves here as they try to pressure this possession from Silveridge. However, Silver finds the pass down to Soggy. Soggy crosses it over to Punda. Punda now does not have an open goal. He's going to wait for the teammates to make their way around. Nice reset back over towards Silveridge. Silveridge now going to be holding on to that one. And look, they are down, but they have a lot of time, so they're going to pass around as much as they can, and they will go for some points here potentially because Punda on the left shoulder is a very scary player. 2 points to take the lead.
It looks like Ali was just on the edge of coming out of a stun there, but not quick enough, and that was costly indeed. But nice job marking that goalkeeper because Ali's been tremendous defensively here, especially in this round, getting a plethora of grabs, but not able to get that one. Big goal to take a lead after, 7 minutes of play here, where it was Villain getting in that early, narrow control.
Okay, I said that Villain were on their final heart. They're now on final half a heart. We're turning into Minecraft now. Okay, look, 4 points to 5, 2 minutes 52 on the timer. You're a point down. This is where the discussion needs to take place, and it needs to be immense, this discussion. I mean, you need to plan out, you need to be proactive in this discussion. You need to say, look, this is the plan. We're going to go here, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But if EXO Clan, if they pressure here or if they send a player here, this is what we're going to do. You need to be able to pan out every single action you're going to take in this next sequence because you have a lot of time now in this timeout to do things like this. But we saw it earlier as well. Villain, they had the timeout, they came out, they found some points. Granted, there was a few mishaps, there was some pressure from EXO, but Villain found the points regardless, coming out straight from the timeout. So now, the question is this the same thing? Is this going to be a repeat now for Villain? Are we going to see another overtime perhaps? Are we going to see another drawed game? I mean, all I'm going to say is they might even be potentially swapping a player. I'm not sure if they're able to or not at this point in time. Maybe just a quick refresh of the headset there, but Villain and EXO, they're going at it, Pally, and I'm getting some vibes similar to the first round.
I think for Villain, excuse me, a lot of what I'm seeing, so they got into that early control, which was great to see, but in that spurt of scorelessness over the last few minutes for both teams, where it was getting pretty hectic, we were seeing a lot of these opportunities where there was an open 3, for instance, that was missed. That would have been a huge momentum boost. We saw a couple of those attempts at the passing plays, the cutting plays, but it was kind of forced into just a pool full of defenders in that bubble where any kind of pass connection would have been so difficult, and it was well read and then ejected out of there by the EXO defense. So coming out of this, next time out here in the next few minutes, Villain, I think, just needs to find a way to calm it a little bit more and get those back passes and find them, find an accurate spot to hit him. Because even on some of the ones where they did opt for a sort of back pass, it was more of kind of a slap into a general area that took an extra second or two for that backliner to actually reach. So I think just cleaning it up, because historically speaking, Villain has been a very, very clean team when it comes to executing some amazing teamwork. They've just been not having a great go of it here in the last several minutes. And I think that is the key to turning this one back in their favor.
Yeah. And in my opinion, one of the key differences that I'm seeing here between these two teams is the turnover. I feel like Villain, they have brilliant defense. I mean, we've seen some immaculate saves from Ali. We've seen brilliant defense from all their players in general. But
Yeah.
it's the act of finding that effective clear. It's the act of regrabbing before your keeper has even sent out that disc. It's being there for that clear and not just sending it straight back into the hands of Silva or Soggy, who's waiting back at the midfield. You want to turn it over. And that's something that EXO clan, they do that very well. They don't just have that brilliant defense, as you mentioned earlier. They can turn it over. They can find that open goal. They are there first. And they find these points. And I mean, that's how you see a lot of those open goals. You wonder, we wonder all the time, why wasn't Villain? Why didn't they have any members in the goal there? EXO Clan are quick. They are there first. They re-grab so quickly, and they are turning over like it's nothing, and they're finding these open goals, and they're taking point leads. That is the type of team that EXO Clan is. And I mean, Villain, that is the one difference. I'm just saying now, from my opinion, that is the one slight difference that I'm seeing with these two teams, and I'd like to see that from Villain now exiting this timeout. Will they take a bit more time in their defensive region before they clear? Will they make a more effective, maybe just some passes within their bubble to their own teammates, even just not just giving up your possession immediately, because that's how EXO thrives. That's how they come back with another attack, and that's how they find their points and stay ahead. But yeah, Palador 5 points to 4, still anybody's round, and it's getting me on my toes.
Yeah, anyone's round for sure, but if it does happen to be EXO Clan's round, well, they will indeed claim yet another championship here. They are minutes away. They've got that narrow lead, need the talent just brimming with life here in the OCE region, and currently brimming with points on the EXO team. Punda and Rosh, 15 points for Punda, Rosh with 12. But then you also look at Silver and Saga, who have 5 and 3 assists respectively, as well as 2 and 3 saves respectively. I mean, everyone contributing here across the board. This is crunch time. This is clutch time. This is the time. The time is now. Time out is gone, and out on the joust. Aliosia over to Impact. An important possession, an important stun. It's taken by Rush, and Rush kills them. That's murder on the field. 8-4.
Oh my goodness, the dagger in the heart. Palador Villain just come out of this timeout. They're ready to say, all right, guys, this is the plan. We're going to do this. We're going to come back. We have to execute these points. Rosh just sails straight to their face, finds some stuns, and sends it into the letterbox for the expert delivery. 3 points to EXO, a 4-point difference now.
That could be very well some early ice in itself. Only 2 minutes remaining in this third and possibly final round. And right now they need for Villain to find something, some breath of life here because the time is closing in on them. Down the floor, it's Rush again. Rush with a wave goodbye and right through the front of the rim, dunking it home and potentially now securing with 2 back-to-back goals, another championship on the way soon. Time's running out.
Ross just went to his team and said, you guys want to win this one? Okay, no worries. Just powered through, just went to the store, came back with a trolley filled with momentum, and just tipped it all over on this match because, look, even once more, the pressure from EXO is just too much for Villain as another potential open goal. Soggy bunting snags from 31 meters out. EXO Clan might potentially be the Season 6 champions, Palador, because the momentum is definitely carrying them over the line.
I think it's more than potential at this point. The maximum potential being shown by EXO Clan. Excellence. And playing the judge, jury, and executioner at that. That is 3 straight scores off of that last timeout. coming in, 2 from Rosh, 1 from Soggy, maybe 2 from Soggy in a hot second here. They absolutely came out of that with a fire and did not allow any kind of momentum to be built from Villain. What a way to finish out what was a low-scoring third round. They now have 13 points, as that is on point from Ali, but it's a little too late.
Beautiful bounce shot there from Ali, but with a quite a few point difference. Do the math, 6. 20 seconds remaining on the timer. I mean, even less than that after the countdown is done. 13 points for 7 Palador. Yeah, a just advantage, and I feel like EXO Clan, everybody feels like EXO Clan will be the undefeated champions. A nice stun there from Villain. Another few potential points. Nope, Punda will find the steal and clear away the game. Wow, the pressure from Rosh, the 3-pointer from Soggy, it all came together at the end there, Palador. And EXO Clan will be your undefeated champions of the Oceanic region, Season 6.
And your undefeated champions of VRML, the lone remaining ones in a history filled with greatness. They will once again secure their spots as the top of the line in OCE, and they're not looking to let go of that legacy quite yet. Congratulations to EXO Clan, a fantastic showing, and for one of the rare occasions, just close it out without the stresses of a reset or a 5th round or otherwise. They executed just everything they wanted in their game plan, and congrats to them on success.
Yeah, the potential was definitely there. I mean, Villain, they came out of that timeout, they had the plan, and it was just so, you could feel the gut-wrenching for them. I mean, if you were a Villain supporter or a player there, just Rosh came out of nowhere. I feel like EXO, how they rolled out in their previous rounds, they didn't really commit single players. They didn't commit members such as Rosh to extend away from the regrabbing partner. They played a bit more on the defensive side, but EXO just out of nowhere. I mean, Ace up their sleeve. I mean, they just set it down on the table. They sent Rosh straight into the guts, and it paid off. The pressure was there, and EXO just took it away. I mean, EXO Clan now, your champions, taking away $900 USD, which converts to a lot of money, AUD by the way. 6 VR cover kits, VRML player personalized jerseys, and champion tags. EXO Clan have done it again.
Done it again. When will it stop? Only time will tell, but at the moment they are looking just as sharp as ever. After season of these stressful fights, I mean, they continue to show their stuff. For Villain, meanwhile, not the ending and conclusion of their season they wanted, surely, but also still nothing but up for them, I feel like. The fact that they are where they're at after such a relatively speaking short amount of time, and I said the same thing 2 seasons ago, these are still going to be future contenders, future champions, I feel, and over the course of VRML history. It's just not the end of the book, just the end of one short chapter. But next season, I'm sure we'll see Villain right back at it again with this squad, these players. I mean, too much talent there to be denied for too many more seasons, I feel like. Just not enough against EXO.
Exactly. I mean, but if I'm bringing a team up to the grand finals, there is no way losing the grand finals is going to stop me from continuing another season. They won a prize. They still have second place wins, $400 USD, and they also get the finalist tag. I mean, it's that I feel like Villain is definitely not a team. I can definitely see them coming back stronger the next season, and that's one of the best things about the Oceanic community that I love. These teams come back stronger, and they're always bringing something new to the table, and I can personally tell you, I know Villain are not done yet. They will be continuing, and they'll bring something even more interesting within the next season, just as they have in previous seasons. But I mean, beautiful match overall. That first round definitely made me thinking we're going to see a few overtimes, maybe a round 5, maybe a bracket reset. But EXO shutting it down, and I mean, in EXO fashion, I mean, that was clean.
It was, and well, as we wind it down here, what was a very, very successful defense from EXO Clan. I was getting a quick read, and you can see again the beautiful contributions from everyone involved here from the team play perspective. I mean, yeah, you had Rosh and Punda there with the huge near 20-point scoring efforts between the two of them, 17 and 15. But again, you look at what Silver was able to do in the goal and on the assist as well, with the 5 assists, 2 saves. Soggy with the 8, 3 and 3 in points, assists, and saves, as well as those 35 stuns. I mean, they were really on point on that end. And for Villain, what do you see on their side there, Pam?
Well, we see Impact making his way up the board with 13 points. But look, the saves, I feel like the defensive side of things is what Villain definitely topped up on within this game. I mean, I feel like this is where they excel, and that's where they have to build upon. I feel like what we mentioned earlier, that turnover is what Villain really, I feel like, need to focus on, because EXO Clan we saw earlier, that is kind of where they were more proficient within in terms of difference between these two teams. But back to the stats here, Aliosia finding so many saves, but a lot of points as well. And Odin as well with a save for himself as well. I mean, look, KVN and 5 Up, they're swapping throughout the match. They both definitely played a vital role for Villains as well. But I mean, just unlucky there for Team Villain. They definitely gave it the role. But I mean, and another thing as well, you can't necessarily see within the stats, stuns and steals that lead to saves is something that, for example, if you can see here, for example, Aliosia has about 26 stuns there and 3 saves. I can tell you now 100% at least 5 of those stuns she made saved the goal. So it's stats like that you can't initially recognize, but after rewatching the game or watching it the first time in general, you can see how every single stun contributes, how every single play contributes, and credit to Villain, but a well-fought match. EXO Clan, however, taking it away, and beautiful match overall. Palador, that was a blast.
Oh yeah, it was, and we still got more to come in VRML finals. Tomorrow, of course, we have EU and NA, or I guess technically today for a lot of the folks watching at the moment. For our OCE folk, it will be at 6 a.m. AEDT, and for NA, that'll be at 9 a.m. So still plenty more action to come as we crown our champions in our other 2 supported regions here in VR Master League. And yeah, just can't wait for it. I'll be there casting like good old times like here with me and Pam Wow across the seasons. I'll be hanging out with Dimwee a little bit tomorrow with some NA cast. It'll be fun.
That will be fun, honestly, because beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And look, I just, honestly, I cannot wait to see the future of what, not just OCE, what NA and EU, what all these regions have to provide for these finals, because and future seasons, because honestly, it's brilliant. It's beautiful. It's beautiful content. And so yeah, just be there for the finals, ladies and gents, because it's going to be even crazier than this, I can imagine. The cream of the crop, everybody wanting a shot at that crown, as I think we'll wrap things up here, though. But, I mean, again, thank you, everybody who stopped by for a look, or everybody looking just now. I know for a fact everybody in the OC Discord, there's about 1 million in one channel now watching the share screens. And I'm reacting. Shout out to all you lads there. But, I mean, gotta love this community. Great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, before we do go out here, we do have a guest, and well, why not? We do have now a Season 3, 4, 5, and 6 champion in Panda, I believe, in our VC. How's it going, Panda? Congrats on the win again.
Thank you, dude. Oh, that was intense. That was the first time we've played like a grand finals on more than 100 ping. It was like around 120, just because it's a Asian team, right? And good on Good on Villains. They went crazy.
Yeah, you guys went crazy. They went crazy. I mean,
the last 3 goals, they were like half goals, dude. You had like Rush boots, then you had Soggy's half good, then you had Aliosia's half goal.
I was about to say, coming out of that timeout, that was really the big thing. 2 minutes left, and big potential to recapture some momentum there for Villain coming out of the timeout, and then it was kind of squashed by Rush, and then Soggy as well. Few goals in a row in the span of something like 45 seconds to suddenly turn what was that low-scoring round into just an explosive win for you guys. I mean, again, you guys have been here around the block or commenting it on the pre-show and going into the opening of the match. The fact that you've been in these high-pressure situations before, but as always, I mean, if you're not on top of things here in terms of your scrims and your strategies and just trying to stay on top of the game plan. I mean, as we see, these teams, there are a lot of hungry teams here, like villains.
Yeah,
Punda,
definitely.
quick question, mate. Quick question.
What's up?
So with that final play with Rosh, I feel like you consistently throughout this game you had those double stacks going in your defensive region, but that last play you had Rosh just single man army just making their way down towards the guts. What inspired you to go for a play like that, or is this classified information?
I'm gonna be honest, right? I have no memory collection of what happens in the game. It's all a blur to me. So you have to show me a clip, otherwise I'm not gonna understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, Rosh
Surely,
just instantly shutting down right after that final timeout from Villain. Rosh just charges down the line, stuns two of their members, sends the disc through the letter slot. So I'm just wondering, did Rosh just say I wanted to just go for it, and you all just like, yeah, go for it?
yeah, sure. I think so. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like I don't know, no memory. Also, is it possible we can drag the rest of the team in? Because you got Silver, Gish, Soggy, Zeros, and also our org COO Aston, who's been super supportive of us. If I don't know, if you guys want to drag him.
A whole impromptu party interview.
Oh,
Only
yeah,
an
dude.
OCE.
Season, yeah.
On one hand, you're asking a lot and giving me a heart attack. On the other hand, what am I gonna do? Fire me? So okay. How about we'll bring in a couple at a time? Instead of 8 at
I'd
a
say
time. That
Aston
might be a little
first,
chaotic.
Aston first, you know, because he's like ours, org COO. He's
Sure.
very, cool guy.
Oh, okay. Why not?
All
Why
right.
not? Happy to do that. Welcome,
Ace.
Ace them to the chat and to the post-match interview. How's it going?
Yeah, good guys. Yourself?
Oh, going
Yeah,
great. It's going great. That was an exciting match we just watched.
Yeah, it was incredible. I'm so excited for the guys. They've worked so hard. Like all the teams at EXO Clan work really hard, but these guys have been grinding like no other. And to be able to showcase this team on this platform, and obviously VRML doing such a great job with the production and everything they're doing, is so awesome to be a part of it. And to have the top team in OC at the moment is even better. So yeah, congratulations to everyone involved in our team.
They've done you
Yeah.
proud.
Congratulations
you proud.
to you guys as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say this though. I mean, look, all these teams that were in this final bracket, they all did so amazing, and all these games were great. So everybody, I must stress that you check out these games if you have not already. Excellent games, especially this one with Villain and EXO. But I mean, EXO Clan, formerly Leviathan, they're doing the organization proud. That's what I will say, and I feel like it's that extra step of professionalism, that extra finesse that we saw within this game that really kind of hyped me up as well, that extra mile.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, huge props to your organization as well for fostering you and taking you in to their welcome arms. And honestly, it's looking great. I can only see up from here.
Yeah, I can see really great things for the VR community through Echo as well. And there's a few orgs sneakily starting to pick up teams as well, so it's only going to get bigger. And I hope that we can continue to grow the community and support this game, because I think it's got a really big future. And yeah, it's just great to have such an awesome team as Punda and the rest of the lads. They're just awesome to deal with, and I think they're really good for the community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everything we do at VRML, it's again grassroots, right? So we all are here because we believe in what we're doing, what we believe in, what we're playing here in Echo Arena, especially. The first 5 minutes back in 2017 when the beta came out for PC of Echo, I remember exactly saying out loud just to myself, like, wow, coming out of my first match, this is the future. This is what VR is about, and just to see it continue to grow over these last 5 years and extended. Beautiful thing.
Yep. And I think with that said, unless Punda has another 500 people to drag into the call, I feel like that will be I feel like that will be the final remarks of today. But again, amazing day, amazing match. Well done to Punda and your team. Shout out to your captain as well. And I mean, there's much else to say aside from please be there tomorrow for these next games. NA and EU will be putting on the performance of a lifetime. And ladies and gents, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. I don't know if you have final remarks, because honestly, I think we're just about done here.
Well, it's been a little while since I've gotten to do the old outro. So on that note, I know we're minus a ukulele this time, Pamwell, but that's okay. For everyone who watched, for everyone who tuned in, everyone who played, and has supported or contributed or participated in any way, we thank you so much. Means all the world because, again, this is by the players, for the players in that sense. We all love EXO. Until EU and NA finals, a short time away later on in the day. I've been Palador, that's been Pamwell. Thank you so much to Wonder on the cams, even though it doesn't want me to shout him out. I'm going to do it anyways. And with that, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and be good to each other as always. We're going to see you again real soon.
6 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VR Cover, ProTube VR, Arma.gg, Kiwi Design, Downpour Interactive, and VRware.net.